Hey everybody, I'm Pierre Piscitelli, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Sailing by Christopher Cross. I absolutely love this song. I always have. In general, I've always been fascinated by songs that are written on the guitar, especially arpeggiated rolling chord figures like that, because they tend to work really well on the piano. As always, my arrangement of this song will be available on musicnotes.com for download in case you guys want to grab that. In the event that you don't want to or you don't read music, fear not, this video will guide you through the entire song and how it's played. The 16-bar demo that you heard me play at the beginning of this video is the music for the introduction and the verse. So if you just learn what I'm about to show you, it's going to get you pretty far. What we have to do is learn these shapes in the right hand, and then I'll teach you how to roll the notes in that shape. So the first thing we're going to do with the right hand is E, G sharp, A. I know this looks a little bizarre, but once you roll it, it's going to be very nice. So E, G sharp, A from bottom to top. And now only change the middle note, which is G sharp. Let's move it to F sharp. So E, F sharp, A. Go back and forth 2 times. Now roll the notes from top to bottom with this rhythm. Next, go back to the first chord, second chord. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm rolling through the notes from the highest finger to the lowest 2 times. It's 2 cycles for each chord. 1, 2, next. Again. And that rhythm has to be done exactly that way. You can't go. There's a specific groove to it, and there are notes that are a bit syncopated and go over the measure line, so that's what you're looking for. The entire time that you do that, play a D with the left hand. Now, depending on your band setting, or if you're playing this with a bass player, a singer, or by yourself, you judge how much left hand you want to do. If you have a bass player, don't slam like that. That might be a bad idea, but it is the root, and you do want to hear it a little bit. Your ear does want to latch onto something rather than just this floating figure. You need to ground it somehow while you're practicing it. So just a D in the left hand will do. I choose to play it again here because it faded out. So enough of that. Now you understand the formula. Let's go to the next 4 bars. We're going to start with the same shape as the first shape. So E, G sharp, A once again. Now the next shape we'll do looks a bit different. E, A, B. It's not terribly different, but just slightly. And then we'll go back to that first shape, and then the new one I showed you. E, A, B. Roll those with the same rhythm. So chord number 1, 2. Back to number 1, number 2. Not terribly different. So once you understand the formula, each measure that I show you is going to get easier and easier. Left hand now is an F sharp throughout all 4 of those bars. Listen to what it does. Very beautiful sound, very melancholy. It's really sad. Now let's move on a little bit. The next 4-bar set is going to look like this. Here are the 2 shapes. E, G sharp, B. If you know your music theory, you might recognize this as an E major chord, E major triad. And now we're going to stretch out a bit to E, A, C sharp. You might recognize that as an A major chord just flipped upside down. Go back, E, G sharp, B, E, A, C sharp, Now I will add the rhythm. Again. Left hand in this case goes back to D, like the first 4 bars. Now the great news is that the next 4 bars are the exact same right hand pattern. You don't have to do anything new, just change your left hand to A. And you'll be amazed at how different the whole thing sounds with just a different pedal tone underneath. Listen. How about a lower A? So that gives you a more conclusive sound. We are in A major after all. The entire thing sounds like this. And there you go. So let's say that that was the introduction that I just played. You're going to want to repeat that 16-bar passage 2 more times because there are 2 verses that happen in a row. I don't need to play it 2 more times. You can always go back and watch it. So let's go on to the chorus. I'm going to play through it and then we'll break it down. Half of the chorus is recycled stuff that you already learned, which is great news. So remember these 2 shapes? E, G sharp, B, E, A, C sharp. I showed you these a few minutes ago. So what you're going to do here is play these shapes, arpeggiate them from top to bottom as usual. Again. And now the left hand, for the most part, will play A. However, there is a pretty important bass note. In the second bar, you hear the bass play an E pretty prominently, so I like to catch that note. Let me explain. So A, E, back to A. I'm going to show you how that works. Back to A. So look at where it happens. It was right after I played a C sharp in the right hand. Back to A. The next 4 bars are a copy and paste from the very beginning. Nice and easy. Now the next 4 bars are block chords. There's kind of a groove here, and we break out of the pattern entirely. With a cool little bass solo moment in the left hand. Let's talk about this. So the first thing we're going to do is play what's called a B minor 7. I like to do it this way, F sharp, A, D in the right hand. Left hand plays a B because that's the root. I play the chord in the right hand twice. Next is an F sharp minor 7. It looks like this. E, A, C sharp right hand, F sharp left hand. But there's a bit of a syncopation here that you can hear on the album. The left hand hits first, like this. So rather than just going, you're going to do this. Back to back. So just remember to hit that left hand F sharp first. One more set of chords. We have C sharp minor 7 now, G sharp, B, E in the right hand. Left hand is C sharp, which is the root. And this you can play normally, just twice, 2 half notes. And I lied, I think there's one more chord. F sharp, A, D in the right hand. which is a D major chord, just flipped around. And in the left hand, while you play that, you're going to play D, A, E. You don't have to stretch it. You can be mobile with your hand. Watch my left hand. I'm not stretching D, A, E like that. I can do it, but you can also do this. D, A, E. You can pivot like that. Use the A as a pivot. Move your hand. So if your hands are small, it's okay. You can probably play this and use the pedal to help you sustain those notes. See? So that whole line sounds like this. Now, from this bar that I just showed you, you can just hold that out for 4 bars if you like. However, if you listen carefully, you hear Christopher Cross's guitar just kind of trickle in a little bit. I like to mimic that as follows. And then we go back into the next part. I think it's a cool little effect. So here's what you would do. From this moment, right after you hit the final note, which is E in the left hand, right away, get your right hand in position to play the beginning chords. This position, E, G sharp, A, remember this? And this one, A, F sharp, D. But hold on a minute. Remember, we did this initially, A, F sharp, E. He changes one note. It's hard to believe, but he does. If you listen carefully, it's there. So the positions are A, G sharp, E, from top to bottom, E, G sharp, A, if you're thinking bottom to top. And now just a D major triad. And then back to E, G sharp, A. So here's how it works. I'm gonna hold the pedal down and right away go into E, G sharp, A, D, F sharp, A, and then back to E, G sharp, A, like that. The next verse is really interesting. Our right hand, which is mimicking the guitar part, is going to play the same pattern for the entire 16-bar verse. Let me demonstrate. Watch my right hand and see if you notice. It's interesting how I played the same thing for 16 bars, yet the left hand moving around and changing what we call the pedal tone made the passage interesting. You were taken on a journey. It wasn't the same thing for 16 bars at all. Pretty amazing what one note in the left hand does. If you haven't seen it yet, check out my video on Phil Collins where I talk about pedal tones. This is the concept that's being employed here, and it's very, very effective. Okay, so let me teach it to you. As you probably noticed, I'm just playing 2 patterns. E, G sharp, B in the right hand, as you probably noticed. Just an E major chord. And then E, A, C sharp. I've shown you these before. Except now they're going to go back and forth for 16 bars. Right? I don't need to go through the whole thing, it's just back and forth. The left hand roots, while simple, are the most important part because this will define how the verse is sounding and where you are in the verse, right? This is what really creates the journey and the variation in what you're hearing. So the left hand starts on A for 4 bars, F sharp for 4 bars, D for 4 bars, and then come home to A. If you start on the thumb, this A with the thumb, then you don't have to move your hand around. You don't want to use one finger and jump. That's really bad. So I play the A with the thumb. F sharp is 3rd finger for me. Pinky plays D. And then thumb. You have enough to think about, so you don't want to babysit a left hand, right? You want to think about the right hand most likely because it's doing more. So if I put these together, F sharp in the left hand. D. Back to A. Now you're going to play a chorus, which I've already taught you. So I'll play it again. Maybe I'll get a copyright strike and have to cut this part out, but let me try. Just like the other chorus. Now, this is the best part, the piano solo. If you don't want to do the piano solo, skip this. You know how to play the song. If you do want to learn the piano solo, which I think is a brilliant solo, stick around and I'll show you. Let me play it again very slowly. Pretty amazing solo. So here's how I will teach it to you. Let's start with the right hand. We're going to play E with the thumb, and then A with the second finger, and then E on top. So we've moved up an octave to another E with the pinky, and you're going to play that 3 times. So E, A, E, E, E. And then we'll finish off with a C sharp, which is within reach of the 3rd finger. So in total, the figure starts with a rest. So I don't go 1, 2, 3, 4. Makes no sense. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. So that's really important. You hear a quick downbeat, just an 8th note rest. 1. That gives it a nice syncopated feel. Most of the phrases start like that with a quick little 8th rest. In fact, I think all of them do. So let me show you the next one. It starts with A. I use the thumb, and then we play E twice. I use the pinky. Now let's come down. D, C, D, B. Again, rest. A, E, E, D, C, D, B. No talking. Next, let's put the thumb on G, which is right next door. G, D, D. D is once again the pinky. Now we'll come down. C, B flat, C, A. Let's stop there. Now there's a bit of a tag on this phrase. I use the thumb to play F. I scrunch my hand like this and I play A with the pinky. And then I work my way down the white keys, so A, G, F. And then I scrunch the hand again and play G with the pinky. And now 3, 2, 1 are sort of hanging out over D, C, B, which are what I need to finish this. That's a lot of stuff, so let me put that together for you. Rest. Like that. A little bit faster. Rest. Moving on, new key, G, C, G. And the G up here is 3 times. I use fingers 1, 2, and 5 to get those notes, G, C, G. Now I'm going to come down and play E with the middle finger and C with the thumb. So all together, rest. Next phrase, A flat with the thumb, C with the index, pinky on G, and now we'll come down to F, E flat, F. So let me show you what that looked like. Right away, thumb comes down to F, second finger on B flat, pinky on F. Now let's come down using fingers 4, 3, 2 with E flat, D, C. So let me show you what that was. Rest. A little bit busy, so just go back and rewatch that if you need to. Next part, A is played with the thumb, C with the index, A again with the pinky, and now we're going to start playing 2 notes at once. So this is B and G, A and F, back to B and G, down to G and D. You just have to get up and move. I use thumb and pinky. Down again, just pick up and move to D and B. Now I pick up one last time, promise, and I play G with the pinky, D, B, and now the concluding figure is A and C sharp, going up to B and D, back to A and C sharp. Whew, it's a lot of notes. So let me go over that very, very slowly. The very last phrase, which was kind of non-stop. You don't get any breaks during those 6 bars or so, right? He's really running through the finish line there. The typical phrase of rest, da da dun 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 dun, is over. It's a marathon. So again, one more time, very, very, very slowly. You can see the notes on the screen, so I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to play slowly enough that you can comprehend all of these notes. Here we go. Rest. That's the end of your solo. Now the piano solo on the album is just right hand as far as I can hear. It's just a piano solo because there is a rhythm section, right? There's guitar comping, a lot of percussion, there's bass, I think there's a Rhodes in there, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So all that really matters is the piano solo. But if you guys are playing this alone or even with a small band, you should do something with your left hand. I chose to just play fifths, power chords. I think that playing full chords sounds a little bit cheesy, like it doesn't sound great to me, but there's something great about playing fifths, open, simple chords. Hear how open that is, even though it's simpler. So that's what I choose to do when I play this song. It's also very easy to teach. Here's how the piano solo left hand is going to go if you choose to do it. A and E for 2 bars, so 1, 2, 1, 2. Then move it down to F and C. The shape is the same, okay? Pinky and thumb, always a fifth apart. You're never gonna do this or do this or do this. It's always the same. F and C. Up to G and D. Down to 2 black keys, E flat and B flat. Up to F and C. Resolve on G and D. That's half of the solo. I'll play it without talking. Here's the second half, C and G, A flat and E flat, up a bit to B flat and F, down to F and C, one step up to G and D, a final step up to A and E. So I think the last thing that I'm going to do is just put the hands together very, very, very slowly so that you can see when things are lining up. I think if I do that, you'll have a ton of information in these past few minutes in order to work on this solo. Okay, here we go. Be patient with that piano solo. It's very tricky, so you might have to go back and rewatch some of those slow run-throughs that I did and how things were coordinated. If you can't do it, give somebody else in the band the solo. It's okay. Or just skip that section altogether, which is what most versions of this song do as far as sheet music goes. They just don't even do the solo altogether. So after that, you guys pretty much know everything you need to know. You play a verse, meaning the original verse, not the modified second one I showed you. So the verse that starts like this, right? The original verse. So do one of those, and then you're going to want to play a chorus. Don't need to play it again. And then the outro is just going to be what we call a vamp, meaning you're going to play the original beginning 4 bars over and over like this. And that's it. That's everything that you need to know in order to play Sailing. If you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. I hope this one was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the music notes link in the description if you want to get the sheet music for this. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.